We do have some breaking news got to get to before we close out here. Adrian Wojnarowski is reporting on LeBron James that he is feared to miss several weeks with the right foot injury. He's undergoing further testing to learn the full extent of the injury. Not a lot of time left in this season, and several weeks is if it ends up being several weeks, that could certainly take the wind out of the sails for the Lakers playoff push.
So what do the Lakers, if he misses several weeks, give me, like, I guess off the top of your head, what would be the game plan for Lakers? Obviously, everything goes through Anthony Davis, and we saw how Anthony Davis responded early this year when he was just absolutely on fire and was the man. But take me through how all the other new pieces fit, and how do they basically fill this massive void?
I think you're right there. AD's got to be the sun, the moon, the stars for this franchise over this stretch. And I do believe he's up for the task physically and mentally. But you're going to need to fill that void somewhere. And, maybe it's the guy that we forgot about when we rattled through the new roster acquisitions, Rui Hachimura. Can play. So he's not going to be LeBron James. I'm just saying he can play some of those minutes there. Austin Reeves, some of those minutes there. Certainly getting D'Angelo Russell back healthy will help them, because he, beyond LeBron and AD, I believe he's their next best player, certainly offensively. So that'll help. But, this is, you see LeBron put himself out there, the 23 most important games of his career. To have this happen in game 3 of that stretch is tough pill to swallow. And I know that LeBron will do whatever he needs to do to get himself back onto the court. This won't be tear down the tent and move on. But it's just like a math equation now. All these games were already pressure packed and already going to be a tough prospect for them to win fully healthy. And let
me take you through the next couple weeks, Dave, their schedule. At Memphis tomorrow night, at Oklahoma City on a back-to-back. That's incredibly tough back-to-back. And obviously Oklahoma City right there with them, trying to get in a play-on game. Minnesota, a team that stands above them in the standings, at home. Golden State, another team above them in the standings, at home on Sunday. That's now 1 week from his injury. Then after that, Memphis at home, Toronto at home, the Knicks at home, which would take us to 2 weeks from his injury. Let's assume that, like, even if that were the fastest he were to come back, he still would need time to kind of like ramp up and things like that, right? So after that, at New Orleans, at Houston, Dallas at home, Orlando at home, Phoenix, Kevin Durant should be back by then, and then Oklahoma City, and then 2 games in a row against Chicago. So I hope this isn't a death knell for them, Dave. I hope that they can hang on. AD can keep them afloat, and I think he can. And I think with all the new pieces, keep them in that play-in race. And then after that, if LeBron can come back healthy and he's doing well, then, and if both of them are healthy, they can still make some noise.
Yeah, I think it's just going to come down to just how much time this thing takes, right? And even, so we know, coming back from injury, then there's time to get back into a rhythm, and then it's time to figure out the group that you're playing with, and that group figures out a way to keep their head above water while you're out, and then you're recombobulating things. So, you're discombobulating things, I should say. So, this is going to be a challenge. There's no way to sugarcoat it. I imagine we could be leading future episodes down the stretch talking about the Clippers playoff prospects to lead the show rather than the Lakers.
Breaking news into CBS Sports HQ. Lakers forward LeBron James likely to miss multiple weeks due to a right foot injury. This confirmed by our Bill Ryder. The 20-year veteran suffered the injury during Sunday's comeback win against the Mavericks. Managed to finish that game. Los Angeles currently the 12th seed in the Western Conference. Let's get some insight from HQ NBA analyst Avery Johnson. And Avery, talk about going from highs to lows. Their biggest win of the season on Sunday, rallying from 27 down to beat the Mavs. This is a team that without LeBron James this season, Avery, 5-9 since he joined the Lakers, 36-62. Talk about how this will impact this team moving forward.
Well, significant impact for the Lakers, especially you're coming off of a game when you're down 27 points and you come back and squeak out a win on the road against the Dallas Mavericks, who they were going to be vying for with that 6, 7, 8 seed. So LeBron to be out, miss some time, significant time, if you're talking about weeks, not just a game, that's going to have a huge impact on the team. Anthony Davis is going to have to play like an MVP candidate, which he's capable of, if he can stay healthy. D'Angelo Russell didn't play on Sunday, who's projected to be their consistent starting point guard after being traded from Minnesota. So again, when you look at LeBron, you lose so much. You lose the defense, the wisdom, high basketball IQ, blocks from behind, as you saw in that highlight. But they have a capable team with some guys that came over in the trade. Hachimura, who came over from Washington, he's capable. But it just depends on how long LeBron's going to be out. But this is definitely going to hurt their chances to even make it into the play-in game. They got to play some all-out, efficient basketball on both ends of the floor.
Hey, Avery, you've coached in this league, so I'm curious about what the coach's message would be to a team that has 6 teams to jump to get to the playoffs and 2 teams to jump just to get into the play-in. There's plenty of basketball still left to be played. What would the message to this Lakers team be without now LeBron James?
It has to be small group messaging. You can't talk about, we have 22 games left or 20 games left. Let's try to go 16-6. No, it's really one game at a time, or little 2-game segments to try to keep your team focused on the here and now. And it's the next man up. Lonnie Walker IV, who only played 6 minutes against the Mavericks, he's started for the Lakers. He's got to step up. But the Lakers, I'll give them credit. With all of these trades, they're not nearly as a distracted team as they were early in the year when they were wondering about Patrick Beverley and Russell Westbrook. This team seems to have better chemistry to try to overcome LeBron's injury. Probably have to slow the game down a little bit. The Lakers like to run. Slow it down a little bit, reduce some of the possessions, and win it with your defense.
Avery, you touched on AD. He was terrific on Sunday, 30 points, 15 rebounds. He really played his best basketball of the season during a stretch when LeBron was out earlier this year before AD himself got injured. Are you expecting him to carry the load and kind of keep this team afloat for a shot should LeBron James make it back down for the stretch drive of the season?
When you've won a championship, you're one of the top 2 highest paid players on the team. That's what the expectation is. Do your job, star in your role. Anthony Davis' role right now is to basically get 35, maybe 40 points a night and really lead this team offensively, which is then going to open up some double teams and open shots for his teammates. So he's very capable of it. But the big if with both the I and the F capitalized is, can he stay healthy? He's been a guy that's been hobbled in and out of the lineup. They can keep him healthy on the floor, then they'll have an excellent chance to continue to win.
Now, you already touched on this. This is a team that has a lot of newcomers joining the fray. They're 29-32 with this news of LeBron James being out for an extended period of time. As it is, knowing the teams they have to jump to get into the play-in, knowing the teams they have to jump to get into the playoffs, is this going to be a playoff season for the Los Angeles Lakers?
I still believe they're a play-in team. With LeBron James, I thought they were going to catapult some of those teams that's in front of them that has that 2-game advantage. And with what I saw on Sunday, especially that team in the second half, they look like a top 4 or 5 seed in the Western Conference, a team that's capable of beating anybody if LeBron James is healthy. But without LeBron James, I still believe they'll get by certain teams like Portland, maybe Utah, Oklahoma City Thunder, and make it into the play. And they'll be one of the 10 teams to make it. And then we'll see if LeBron James is healthy come playoff time.
Certainly a long road ahead for the Los Angeles Lakers. He's CBS NBA analyst Avery Johnson. Avery, we appreciate the insight.
No problem.
Again, LeBron James expected to miss multiple weeks with that right foot injury, and this is what the schedule looks like for the next 8 for those Los Angeles Lakers. Sans LeBron, it begins Tuesday at Ja and